Stop trying to play like a rock star. At least not just yet. How to build the skills that will get you there. It's a common scenario. A new student walks into a guitar lesson, excited, envisioning themselves shredding solos, nailing intricate riffs and sounding exactly like their favorite recordings. Maybe they've even picked up a shiny new guitar, a killer amp or a pedal board with enough options to rival a professional rig. And while that excitement is great, which only lasts for so long, it's often paired with a completely unrealistic mindset. Here's the reality. If you're just starting or haven't been consistent in your practice, you're not going to sound like the pros right away. And that's okay. Guitar is a journey, not an overnight transformation. However, with the correct mindset, it can be fun also. In this lesson, we're going to dive into why it's crucial to change your mindset, get real about your abilities, and focus on mastering the essentials that will actually get you to the level you want to reach. The false expectation trap. Let's talk about the most common mistake beginners make. They think they can skip the basics and immediately jump into playing complex songs note for note. Sure, you might be able to pick out the first few licks of a song by ear or follow a YouTube video, but when it comes to playing the entire song, staying in time, keeping the rhythm solid, and sounding musical, things begin to fall apart. I had a new student recently who came into lessons with this exact mindset. He had dabbled with guitar before and had a vision in his head of sounding just like the recordings of his favorite songs. He wanted to play the solos, throw in all the fancy lead fills, and add all these extras that were way beyond his current abilities. Here's what I told him, and what every aspiring guitarist needs to hear. If you can't nail the rhythm, if you can't keep the beat, and if you're not comfortable with the most fundamental aspects of playing, then the fancy stuff will never sound good. No matter how many guitars, amps, or pedals you buy, none of that is going to cover up the fact that you need to build your foundation first. What do I mean by basics? Rhythm and timing. The ability to keep time is everything in music. Even the most face-melting solo won't sound good if it's offbeat. Chords and transitions. If you can't smoothly transition between basic chords, playing songs straight through will be a huge struggle. Playing along with tracks. It's important to play along with a backing track, drum machine, or metronome. This helps train your ear and builds your timing, which is essential for everything that comes later. This is why I always encourage students to start with the core rhythm parts of songs. Get those down, play them in time, and play along with the track. Once you've built that foundation, then you can start thinking about adding the lead parts, fills, and solos. Shifting your mindset from fantasy to reality. The hardest part for many players, especially those who've dreamed of sounding like their guitar heroes, is adjusting their expectations. It can be humbling to realize that your playing doesn't sound like the recording and to admit that you have work to do before you'll get there. But this is the exact moment where progress starts. When you're brutally honest with yourself about your current abilities, you can then take real steps toward improving them. The truth is, every great guitarist started where you are now. They didn't skip the basics, and they didn't get to where they're at by avoiding the hard work. They spent hours, days, years mastering their craft. They played those rhythm parts a million times, worked with a metronome until their timing was perfect, and kept refining the same basic skills until they could effortlessly layer in all the advanced techniques. Real growth happens in stages. I get it, you want to play the flashy stuff, the killer solos, the iconic licks. But you have to earn that ability. Instead of trying to sound exactly like the recording right away, focus on developing the skills that will actually get you there. Break things down into manageable chunks. Start with the core rhythm guitar part and play it until it feels natural. Practice with backing tracks to tighten up your timing. Work on smaller sections of a song at a time, rather than trying to play it all perfectly at once. Leave out the fancy stuff for now and focus on playing the whole song through cleanly. Conclusion. It's easy to get caught up in the fantasy of playing like your idols. But if you're serious about improving, it's time to stay grounded in reality. Keep your expectations in check, be honest about where your skills are at, and commit to the basic skills that will make you a solid player. The truth is, once you start mastering the fundamentals, you'll be amazed at how much faster the more advanced techniques start to come together. And before you know it, you'll be playing your favorite songs just like you've always dreamed.